Wayne Simmons scores twice, and Jake Voracek wins in overtime as the Flyers beat the Florida Panthers 3-2 to extend their winning streak to 6 games. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Patrick Glenn, and welcome back to the Orange and Black Attack as the Flyers come away with a 3-2 victory tonight in overtime as Jake Voracek wins it in overtime for the Flyers. That is 6 wins in a row, and it's good to be a Flyers fan right now. We are climbing up the ladder in the standings. Florida dominated this game basically all throughout the game. They doubled up the Flyers on shots. I believe the final shots was like 44-22, but the Flyers come away with a victory in overtime. They had a lead pretty much to the majority of the game. But Florida, they outshot the Flyers and outplayed the Flyers, but the Flyers came off with a win this evening and extended their win streak to 6 games. Let's get into this game as the Florida Panthers would strike first in the first period as Andre Barkov would get the puck in front, and he'll get it past Steve Mason, and the Florida Panthers take a 1-0 lead. Later on in the period, the Flyers would answer back as Wayne Simmons would just take a nice little low wrist shot, and it gets past James Reimer. The game is tied at 1-1. That is 4 goals in the last 5 games for Wayne Simmons. He's kind of on a hot streak right now as the Wayne train is leading the Flyers leading the Flyers to victories in the last couple games actually, because he scored twice on Sunday night. Game would be tied 1-1 going into the second period, and then the Flyers would strike on the power play as Wayne Simmons again would get the puck past Reimer as the puck would come off the point, and it would bounce off of Wayne Simmons and past Reimer to tell the Flyers have a 2-1 lead. On that goal, Claude Giroux picked up another assist, so he is 1 away from tying Eric Lindros and Rick McLeish for 5th all-time in assists for the Flyers. Claude Giroux's been a wonderful player for the Flyers over the years, and it's good to see that he's getting closer to inching up the points there. But the Flyers would hold that 2-1 lead going into the third period. Steve Mason looked great in this game, held the Flyers with the lead, but with less than 5 minutes to play, Jussi Jokinen is able to tie the game up at 2, and we are going into overtime. Chances galore for both teams. Ivan Provorov made another defensive stop as the Panthers had a 2-on-1, and he dove to stop a puck getting passed along before they could shoot the puck to get into the net. That would lead the Flyers down the ice. Claude Giroux would get to the puck. Flyers would hold the puck into the zone. The Panthers tried to clear, but it would bounce Giroux, and it would get right to Voracek, and he's able to wrist it past Reimer, and the Flyers come away with a 3-2 win in overtime. Jake Voracek deserved that goal. He had countless chances. He broke a stick in the first period on the power play, hit the post in the second period on the power play, but he deserved he's been gripping the stick lately, but he's been trying to do everything himself, but he finally gets one on the board to win the game in overtime as the Flyers come away with a 3-2 victory, and that is 6 wins in a row. No rest for the wicked. Day off tomorrow, and they're right back at it Thursday night as Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers come to town to take on your Philadelphia Flyers. The game is on Comcast Sportsnet, and that game is at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 4 o'clock for those who live on the West Coast, as Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers come to town to take on your Philadelphia Flyers. Hopefully we can go for lucky 7th win in a row. Just got to keep up the good work. Hopefully they can play a lot better, not get outplayed like they did tonight, but still just keep playing well. Keep going with Steve Mason. They got a back-to-back this weekend as the Stars come to town on Saturday afternoon, and then they head to Detroit on Sunday evening. Just got to keep keeping up the good work. Just keep pounding. Just keep giving the payment, and just get yourselves to that Christmas break so you guys can get some rest. As once again, the Flyers come away with a 3-2 victory. That's 6 wins in a row. They come away with a 3-2 victory against the Florida Panthers. And as a Thursday night, Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers come to town to take on your Philadelphia Flyers. 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 4 o'clock for those who live on the West Coast. That game is on Comcast Sportsnet. And as I always end my episodes, good night and good hockey.